yeah, just like, you're a fake, a fraud. I'm telling myself that I don't deserve her.
Okay.
The interesting thing as I look at it is I look back at the last 19 years and all I see is this guilt and shame of how I acted. And she reminds me that there were these times when I wasn't that guy, but I can't see any of that. I know we had good times in there, but all I see is the guilt.
This was not what it was supposed to be. Like, in my really dark places, I could remember thinking, I deserve better than this. Like, this is not what I signed up for. I could be happier with someone that wasn't like this, right? I was filled with a lot of pride and shock. Like, how is this me? It took a long time for me to say, no, this is your story. This is happening. So the first few years, we just had fun together. We had a kid, then we had another kid. We just bring them along with us. I can remember us laughing and saying, why do people say this is hard? This is so weird that people say this is hard.
At first, if I didn't get drunk, it was just fun. I thought I could have like one toe in my Christian life and just dip a toe into drinking and smoking pot, which I hadn't touched in almost 10 years at this point. And it was like this slow roll of every once in a while turns into more regular.
And then we had a good friend drown at 26. And it felt to me like the day that he died, Mark was a different person. And that's when the drinking really started. It felt like literally the day he died. And then it just progressed from there.
That was kind of the change.
I was really scared, and I was trying to walk through this death with my best friend. And for many, many years, I did not talk to anybody about most of it. I think I just was hoping it would this is a phase, this is gonna go away. I don't wanna go here with anybody. And of course that did not happen.
And that's when the snowball started to happen. COVID hit shortly thereafter. So I started drinking. Oh, I don't have any meetings today. I'm just going from job site to job site. I'd have a couple beers at lunch, and then go to the job site, sit in the truck and drink beer, and no one's getting pulled over for anything.
And Mark kind of went off the deep end.
And then Mother's Day, I just ruined the day.
One night he didn't come home, and I had taken one of our kids to an event and left our 10-year-old and a couple other kids at home because he was gonna cross paths with me and take over, and he never came home that night. It was like a last straw. I think that's when I said, listen, I love Jesus, and I made a commitment to him that I will always stay married to you, but I don't want to live with you anymore. And we can just live separate forever if we need to, right?
So Monday I wake up for work, and I'm like, okay, today I'm not gonna drink. And then by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm stopped at a gas station drinking a tall boy. Okay, tomorrow I'm not drinking. Same thing. So I call my buddy. I'm like, Jason, I can't stop, and I think I have to go to rehab. And he kind of chuckles and he goes, Mark, you don't have to go to rehab. You just have to stop. And I'm like, what? I can't do that. He goes, yeah, bro, you can do that. It's called self-control. I needed someone to speak the truth to me, not telling me it's okay to do or you'll get through it type of thing. Just someone to say, hey, this isn't right in your life and you need to fix it. You need to get rid of it. And so I just did. I said, okay, I stopped. And I just took my bag of weed and dumped it out and dumped the beer out. Went home and I didn't say anything to Kate. A couple weeks went by, 2, 3, 4 weeks or so. And she said, you're not drinking anymore, are you? No, I'm not. But I'm not going to make any kind of promise because you've heard enough of that. And that was the change.
He was actually changing. Like, I was watching this metamorphosis in Mark of the Lord getting a hold of him, and he was spending tons of time in the Word, like I think hours every day. And he started having vision for our life. He started having vision for his work, vision for our kids, leadership with our kids. I would see him repenting towards the kids, towards what he had done. He started having his joy again, which is what I loved about him, right? Like, always joyful. It felt like I remarried this person that I would have handpicked out of a crowd. I still feel like that. I'm proud that he's my husband. I don't deserve him. He is amazing. He's leading us. No, I don't feel like I deserve him.
I'm thankful for how he's let me make those mistakes and for who he's turning me into.
I am so very, very thankful that God continues to work in me to break down my pride, and at least he was sitting in the way that Jesus would be around him. I was being the Pharisee, right? Also, he's given me a lot of compassion for people that are in the middle of this, because it sucks. Like, it's hard. It's by far the hardest thing I've ever done was staying married.
We're getting hammered on by God. He's forging us into something useful.
But it's not my story, right? Like, it's God's story. So if I don't share it, then it's right back to that prideful, self-righteous thing of like, I want people to think of me more highly than they should. There's no what ifs in God's kingdom, and this is our story.